everybody. The word of today is facts. Hi everybody, this is DearMamaSal, and I've just come back from a meeting in my bank, and I want to tell you something that just before I get on to the facts side of it, two things amaze me. Number one, 5 different people trying to help me. I was waiting for the appointment and 5 different people came up to see if they could help me. That's the level of service in my bank. I was just going, do I look that needy? Or that's just the level of service. I'm not sure. I don't really want to know. I'm happy that 5 people, graciously asked me if they could help me. The other thing that happened that really surprised me was a guy walked in, and I took a picture of this because I know you'd want to see it. I didn't think you'd believe it. A guy walked in holding 2 $100 bills. Now you'll know it's Canada because the bills are a different color, but it's just like, who walks around carrying in plain sight 2 $100 bills? Now, is that a robbery waiting to happen or what? I couldn't believe it. I was just shocked. Now, to get to the facts point of this video, I've told you all along in this process, just take one step at a time. And for those of you who don't know, I'm in the process of selling my house and now buying a new one. The facts that I wanted today was how much, first of all, could I get what they call a bridging loan? In other words, before the money comes through on the sale of my house, can I buy the next one without that money coming through? In other words, they lend you the money knowing that the sale is good and it'll be paid out when the mortgage gets paid out. So what I wanted to know, and some of you, I can see at least one person smiling at this one. I wanted to know, first of all, could I get it? And it looks like I probably could. But secondly, how much would that cost me? Literally, how much time would it take? And I'd have to have both offers clean. In other words, no subjects on the purchase, no subjects on the sale. Well, let's do it the other way. No purchase on the sale of my house and no subjects left on the purchase agreement. Both those agreements would need to be clean. And then it would take 4 to 5 days. And I don't know about you, then that's quite interesting. Okay, Then I said, okay, crunch the numbers for me. Find out how much that's going to cost me to do that. And I think he came up with a roundabout figure of about $1,900. And then I said, that's absolutely everything. He said, well, there'll be some legal costs on top of that. I said, okay. Now you're probably wondering, why am I laughing? Well, tomorrow, if I decide that I like the house, I already have warned them that I would want to rent it for the month of August. How many of you are getting why I'm smiling? I now know if I can rent the house for under $2,000, do it. It'll be cheaper than getting a bridging loan. Some of you know that my mind works in strange ways, right? And so this was like, okay, now I know what it's going to cost to do a bridging loan. Now I know how much I can go up to rent it. By the way, I probably would pay even more if I had to, because the legal fees will go on top of the $1,900. So, it's a good way of finding out what I can go to and still be ahead of the game. And I don't have to wait. I could be moved in on the 1st of August, or half of me moved in anyway. I probably would wait a week. So, how many of you are chuckling, going, that's a smart move, Sal? I thought so. I actually didn't realize how smart it was, to be honest, until I heard the figure. And then my mind went, okay, now I know what I can pay for rent if I need to. So, facts are important. By the way, I also crunched all the numbers to find out what I'm going to be left with. Round figures, not finite figures, but round figures. I also discussed with my bank manager, because they know, he's a financial planner, so he knows what I'm in for in terms of long-term care if necessary. And I was asking him, what's the going rate today? Not for the top of the line, because I know I can't afford that, but what would it cost me to be looked after comfortably? And he was saying that today it's probably between 5,000 and 7,000 a month. Now, the reason I need to know that, you understand, is because that's why I'm prepared to pay extra, if necessary, for the mobile home. What it is locking away the money that I'm going to need for the next stage of my life. Not this one, but the next one. I want to make sure I've got that money locked away and that I can't spend it on my family and friends. So all this is very strategic, I think is the word. And so, I just got to do the math and go, okay, fine. Presuming I can live 10 healthy years minimum, that would be great. Then I know now what it's going to cost me for the next bit. So it pays me to keep my independence if I possibly can. And the facts are important, people. They're not nice. I got to tell you that. Facts can be upsetting, but that's what they are. They're facts. They're not emotional. This is what it's going to cost me. And then, because it's a bank person, I said, okay, do the extrapolation. Big word. Do the extrapolation. If it's 5,000 to 7,000 now, what will it cost me in 10 years' time? And he did the math on it, and he said it's going to cost you, the equivalent will cost you 7,000 to 9,000 in 10 years' time. Facts. All right. So you understand what I'm trying to do is have a pathway. I know what I'm doing now is for my happiness for, hopefully the next 10 years. But I also want what I'm doing now to lock up the money so that I can still be happy-ish, even when I need care. All right. That I've got that bit covered. Facts are what are going to get me there, not emotion. Not, oh gosh, I don't want to talk about being ill or what if, da-da-da-da. I want to talk about, let me think this through. And, in all due respects, I have to tell you that in one way or another, I think about it all the time, right? I'm taking little notes to myself and going, okay, what do I know about this? Not enough. What do I know about this? Not enough. And so all the time, I'm trying to expand my knowledge. Now, quite honestly, I was pretty sure the bank would charge me quite a bit of money for a bridging loan. But now I know how much I can spend in rent and know that it's no more than I would spend in a bridging loan. How many of you can see the joy of that? Very freeing. I'm off shopping now. This is DearMamaSal saying, remember to look after one another. But please hear me. Make sure you look after yourself. It's really important. Bye-bye for now.